tell me a little bit about your aims.
My aims were to take a play that had been quite restricted by being first performed in 1980 and adding some political background to it, but do it in such a way that it was accessible to an audience that wouldn't know anything about Irish history, the language of Ireland, or perhaps the politics, the early politics of Ireland.
Okay. And to what extent and how did you achieve those?
I tried to achieve it by using humour, some intertextuality with modern rebel songs that weren't around at the time, but were around at the time that the play was first performed. Mainly with humour, breaking the fourth wall, trying to get to the audience a little bit more instead of it being very staid, naturalistic play, which unfortunately it normally is performed as.
Okay. Any other sort of strategies or?
I used media. I was hoping to use more multimedia than I actually did. I was hoping that the link between the future and the past would make an audience that weren't quite aware of old Irish history possibly be a little bit more interested in it, and then think about actually what had happened in Ireland around that time in the 1800s.
Okay. So if you had more time, what would you do?
I don't really know. I would think would have made it much bigger, and gone the whole hog and had. If I'd done the whole play, I would have had large dance scenes, that kind of thing in it. But I think I could have took some of the comedy a bit further. But if I'd used too much comedy, it might have taken away some of the seriousness of the plot. And I didn't want to. Although I edited about an hour's worth of play down to a quarter of an hour, I did not want to take away some of the language, because that was the most important part of the play, was the language, how the people speaking Irish spoke, up to the way that the British soldiers spoke. It was all very important. So there are aspects of it that I might have changed, but I was quite happy with it, considering it was such a small piece. If it had been the whole play, I would have made it far bigger and far more extravagant, and perhaps used multimedia a little bit more.
Okay. What have you learnt about directing?
I enjoy it. That it's been a learning curve in one respect, but I think because it feels like we've been self-directing and directing small groups already, that it's been a step up directing young people a lot younger than me, who are obviously have only been here for a few months, so they may not be used to the way directors speak to them, that kind of thing, and that I like to encourage them to use their own thought processes and to use their own talents, to try and bring their talents out rather than to spoon feed them. And so encouraging them to actually give a bit of themselves was quite hard work, but we got there in the end.
Okay. How did you get there?
Did a lot of exercises with them, trying to get them to research things was the main thing, because they're very young and they don't know anything about Irish history, whereas I've got a background where I do. Was encouraging them to learn more about their characterisation, the characters, the history, to help them understand the play more, help them understand the language as well. That helped, and to ask them their ideas occasionally of, why do you think you would be feeling like this at this time, and so helping them with the research and the history of the play, helped them understand why I might be asking them to do what I was asking them to do.
Cool. All right. Thank you.